So yesterday I decided pretty impulsively to do the 40 hours and 7 days language challenge starting today. So I've just been cranking it out. I woke up with like zero motivation, so I just kind of did what I could do without really talking about it or anything, just, So I definitely didn't get as much done as I could have today, seeing as it's Sunday, and so I didn't have to work today, but it should be fine. I really don't have to work very much at this volunteer thing anyway. So my plans for this are to do 90 minutes per day of German, 90 minutes per day of Catalan, and then 3 hours per day of Spanish. And with all of that together, that's slightly more than 40 hours a week, so I don't have to exactly hit those, but that's kind of the mental thing. So this morning I did my German morning, early afternoon, and I had such a lovely time doing my German. So I did some of my German course that I'm going to try to work on every day. I read this children's book that was recommended by people in the mini immersion Discord like a long time ago. I was scrolling through the German section and they had recommended it as a good first book to read, and so I just checked to see if it was available, and Storytel had both the ebook and the audiobook, and so I just read the whole thing less than half an hour, and it's called Oh, wie schön ist Panama, I think. It was so cute. So I read that, and then I watched the little animated version on YouTube, watched some Heidi, and then that was the time. I finished my audiobook in Spanish, which is a short story collection, a horror short story collection. Really enjoyed that. Started a new audiobook in Spanish, and so now I have about half an hour left in Spanish and an hour left in Catalan. The only thing I've done in Catalan are my flashcards. So I think I'm going to watch an episode of a show in Catalan. So first I'm going to do half an hour of reading in Spanish. Hello. So Monday, I did not have time to do anything before work, so I ended up being a little bit pressed for time and did not get everything done, but I still had a pretty good day. I decided to kind of try to rotate which languages I'm doing first, because obviously the first language is the most likely to get everything done. So on Sunday, I had done German first, and so yesterday I did Catalan first. And I started this graphic novel called El Día Tres, and it's called that in both Spanish and Catalan, or really a Valencian. It's really good. It's really sad. It's about an metro accident that happened in Valencia in 2006, I think, and it happened right before a big important visit from the Pope, potentially. At least that's what the book is kind of asserting, is that the accident wasn't really handled well, or maybe even covered up, and so I'm only 25% through that, so I'm going to read some more of that today. But yeah, I've just kind of been moving along, doing a whole bunch of random stuff. I'm just kind of trying to I force myself to do things for longer than is necessarily comfortable to do, but I'm keeping my options completely open, doing a whole bunch of different things so that I don't get bored of anything. So anyway, yesterday I ended up with 4 hours and 20 minutes. That's an hour and a half less than it should have been, but I still did a lot of things, that's the important part. Today in the morning I finished a story in the German book that I have, and now I might read another one of those. I'm not sure. I'm having a lot more motivation for German than anything else, but I think first I'm going to read from that graphic novel again, potentially. I do have it in both Catalan and Spanish. Wow, I'm struggling so much to talk, so that I can look back and forth, because obviously it's a little bit harder to look things up in a graphic novel. It is available on the Cervantes library, so that's good. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do some reading. I'm probably gonna take a nap because I'm super sleepy, but yeah. Hello, long time no see. So it is now Saturday. I just had like a whole problem this week where Wednesday and Thursday were kind of a blur. I sent in my application to renew my residency, so I had to do a bunch of stuff for that, which, you know, is all good. I mostly just Wednesday and Thursday did immersion stuff with Spanish, so I binged this series on Netflix that has 8 episodes. I watched 4 episodes one day and 4 episodes the next day. It wasn't a very good series, but it was entertaining. And then, you know, I did some other small things here and there. Then Friday I went on a little day trip with the people that are in my volunteer group, and so I just didn't even try on Friday. I'm just not even counting that day. Obviously I was speaking in Spanish a lot, but so we're just adding days on to the end like I did last time to get to the 40 hours. All I've done so far, I got all of the footage that I have so far and put it on my computer and like did a rough edit of it, and kind of while I was doing that, in between things, I watched a YouTube video. But other than that, we are starting from scratch now. It is 10:50 a.m. I went to do my German course. I've been trying to do like a module a day approximately. Haven't really been doing that this week, but I've done it a couple times. So German story and watch something. I'll plan out the next language when I am done with that, I guess. So yeah, we're just gonna start with German. Hello, we are back. Yesterday I had 6 hours exactly, so today should be our last day with about 6 hours and 15 minutes. So I have listened to a lot of an audiobook today while I was cleaning, and I'm gonna do some more of that now and then do a bunch of reading and studying. So I accidentally distracted myself doing a bunch of just like administrative things. I don't know. Anyway, it is 8:20 and we're currently at 3 hours and 30 minutes. So I need almost 3 more hours, which is fine, I guess. I think I'm going to skip studying today, which is not ideal because I already missed a couple days, but I did study yesterday. So I think I'm going to read one of my stories from the German storybook that I'm reading. I finally caved and resubscribed to Readlang and uploaded the stories on there so that I can look things up more easily. And also it gives you an estimate of the level of each story. Also length, it tells you the length, so that's helpful as well. Anyway, like I said, I'm gonna read this story and then I'm just gonna immerse for the last couple hours because, to be honest, I'm a little bit burnt out. Having been so structured for the first like 4 days of this, I kind of overdid the structure, and so all I've been wanting to do the past couple days is just chill out, which I understand. So I think moving forward after this, I'm just going to pick one active study thing per day, like not try to do multiple, because I just don't think that's realistic for me at this stage. So anyway. Hello, welcome back. So we are here to wrap up. I didn't really do too much else. I kind of just watched something and then called it a night. I didn't quite make the 40 hours, which does bother me on some level, but I also don't care. I'll have my final things up here. Overall, I think this week was really, really good for getting me in the habit, especially with German, of course. I did about almost 9 hours of German, I think, 3 hours of Catalan. You can see where I completely tapped out of Catalan for like the majority of the week. I do still want to pick it up more and do more with it. I'm really enjoying that graphic novel. I'm halfway through it. and it should only take me 1 or 2 more sittings to finish it. But I just think I need to manage my energy better for active studying, and I'm getting close to the point where I can consume things in Catalan, you know, not having to look up constantly. So anyway, Catalan got a little neglected, but you know, and then all the rest of the time obviously was in Spanish. Top activity is always listening in Spanish. It's always going to be that way. But yeah, it didn't quite go exactly how I wanted it to, but I still think we learned some things, we did some interesting things. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.